downshifts, they seem kind of tame, but then when you do this, what's good, guys? Ron's Rides back here at Maserati Alfa Romeo of Daytona Beach, where I'm actually here with a 2019 Dodge Charger 392. Now, I brought this from the dealership right next door, Daytona Dodge, to do a video on because you guys have spoken. Now, you guys know that I am trying to replace my 2016 Maserati Ghibli S, you know, towards the summertime, and I wanted to see what you guys thought would be a great car for a replacement in the $30,000 to $50,000 range. So I'm trying to take that to heart and do videos on the cars that you guys have suggested. So if I can get my hands on the car and if it makes sense, I'm gonna try to do a video on it. And this is one of those cars. So we're gonna look at the 392, take it for a test drive, talk about the ins and outs, what I like and what I may dislike about it, and see if this still resonates with you guys as a good replacement. Thank you for the suggestion. Let's get to it. Now, this car holds a special place in my heart. Reason being, if you guys are new to this channel, you might not know about it. And if you guys are OG followers and you know about my old channel, you'll know that I bought a brand new 2012 Dodge Charger SE. Now, that was, you know, the base of base models, but I loved it. I bought it after renting it when I went back up north to Michigan, and I rented it when the new body style first came out in 2011, and it had the LED taillight all the way across, and I thought that was so cool. And I rented it, I loved it, and then I ended up buying one, a 2012 model, and I love that car to death, but it has some issues, so I ended up trading it in for my BMW 5 Series after I got rid of it. But it was white with a tan or cream colored interior, so more cream, but you guys, if you remember it, I did do a couple of modifications, like the black SRT wheels, I did the black grille, I did a matte black spoiler, just a couple things to make it mine. But now here we come full circle back at a Dodge Charger, but this one is a 392 with a Scat Pack. Now, this Daytona Scat Pack Charger comes in what they call a white knuckle exterior paint. It's just white to me, but white knuckle exterior paint, which I like white, so you guys know that this already checks one of those marks in my book. You're gonna get a black interior with this model with the Daytona logo, Napa leather, and Alcantara. Looks really good, and to see Alcantara in the Dodge is really cool. You know, mostly the exotic car brands would add stuff like this, but to have it in a Daytona Dodge is a really nice look, adds value to the interior. So why get the 392 over a base model Charger? Well, for the 392, you're looking at a naturally aspirated Hemi V8 engine. And that V8 engine delivers 485 horsepower and 475 foot-pounds of torque on an 8-speed automatic transmission. I mean, that's American muscle. That is a beastly engine. And you're gonna hear that engine in just a moment. Now, for the 2019 Chargers, you get a couple of things standard now that have changed over upgrades. So there's a few things that you may get now standard that you would get for an 18, 17 or below models. Some of those things include the performance fascias, the sills, the spoiler, suspension, steering wheel, and seating now standard on the GT and RT models. You also get the hood and the satin black painted hood, all right, and that's for the Scat Pack, which we have here, and for the Hellcat. All right, you also get the cold weather package. I mean, that's something that we don't necessarily need here in Florida, but you do get the cold weather package, and it's for all models with cloth seating. All right, you do also get the new B badges that replace the RT badge on the Scat Pack. So if you have a RT, then you have a B badge instead, only if it's a Scat Pack though. You do have the optional dual carbon stripes for the RT and Scat Pack. All right, you do have the wheels that you can do optional with the 20-inch satin carbon wheel for the GT RT, and you also have the optional blacktop 20-inch and 19-inch black noise wheel on the SXT rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and the GT and RT. And you can get the optional Brass Monkey 20-inch, 9.5-inch forged wheels. The interior upgrades for 2019, you're looking at a dark bezel finish, and that replaces the dark brush finish and the hectic mesh. You get an optional caramel color for the Napa leather interior on the SXT and the SXT all-wheel drive. You do get the all-new premium stitched dash and doors on all models equipped with leather. You get the IP badge for the SRT Hellcat, standard houndstooth cloth performance seat on GT, RT, and the Scat Pack. And you also get the Alcantara package, which we see here, but you can extend that Alcantara package on the steering wheel and the door bolsters on the SRT Hellcat. You also have the performance seat standard on the GT and RT. The 2019 Dodge Charger continues to offer something for everybody. I mean, you get legendary performance, you get versatility, you get stylish looks. I mean, and with that, you get decades of muscle car heritage preceding it. The 2019 Charger carries on the brand's heritage of vehicles that are built for performance, all right, from the heart-pounding V8 horsepower to surprisingly efficient and cutting-edge technology. The Charger brand offers brains and brawn, and it's also America's only four-door muscle car. Now with the Scat Pack powertrain and chassis, you get 220 amp alternator, you get black Brembo brakes with 4-piston brake calipers, you can do red optional, you get knockback mitigation, you get launch assist, you get line lock, high performance suspension, 230 millimeter rear axle, 3.09 rear axle ratio, all right, anti-spin rear differential, and severe 2 engine cooling with powered by SRT engine cover. The exterior upgrades for the 2019 is performance grille with dual air inlets, 1-piece satin black performance deck, security alarm, unique Scat Pack B and 392 badging, and 20-inch black noise aluminum wheel. Fuel economy on this 392 is 18 miles per gallon city and highway combined, 15 city and 24 highway with 5.6 gallon per every 100 miles. You're looking at about $2,500 in annual fuel costs, and nowhere do I see that this requires premium fuel. So that is a big plus if you do not necessarily have to put premium fuel, 93, 91, whatever you need to put to keep the car running. Now this 392 comes with optional equipment called the Customer Preferred Package, and that is a $3,495 package. It includes a lot of things, so let's check down the list. 20 by 9.5 inch Ford painted aluminum wheels, all season performance tires, cold air intake system by Mopar, Daytona decals on hood, roof, and trunk, 392 fender decal, Daytona front grille badge, driver's auto dimming exterior mirrors, auto adjust and reverse exterior mirrors, power tilt / telescope steering wheel column, premium stitch dash and doors, ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, Daytona logo, Napa, Alcantara seat, power front driver and passenger seats, power 4-way lumbar, adjust driver and passenger, black edge premium floor mat, rear seat armrest with storage cup holders, illuminated rear cup holders, leather trim seats, gloss black IP cluster trim rings, Daytona IP badge, carbonate interior accents, driver and passenger lower LED lamps, front overhead LED lighting, memory for radio driver's seat, power heated memory mirrors, and Pirelli brand tires. Now the interior looks very familiar. As I mentioned earlier, I used to own a Dodge, but as you guys know, and I'll close the door on this one, those window controls look very familiar as well. You guys can guess what they look familiar in? Maybe, just might, possibly, but looks pretty good, looks pretty simple, looks pretty clean. So we're gonna give it a start. The button is on this side, so gotta get used to it over here if we go that route. Foot on the brake. Actually, let's open up the door because we gotta hear that thing. Foot on the brake, press it down, and you hear that V8 come to life, naturally aspirated V8. That Hemi is just intoxicating to hear. Man, love it. I like the Maserati. This has a big 8.4 inch touchscreen display. Very nice. It's simple, clean, works well. I know because the Maserati touch control system is pretty similar. But from the inside, you can tell where the cost savings is, which is fine. But at the same time, it still feels good in here, especially these huge seats with the Alcantara, the Napa leather. I mean, these things hold you in quite well. This is gonna be a comfortable ride for long distance journeys. But you can tell, as I could tell in my old Charger, that this thing is as big as it looks. It feels big, it feels like a boat. It is a boat on the road. It's not something nice and nimble that you can just weave in and out of corners. This thing, it definitely feels its size. But it's still sporty, it's still girthy, it's still meaty, it's still raw power, like a muscle car should be. This is what it should be. So I do love it. Off the top of my head, first impressions, I'm just gonna go over the interior. Like I said, I wanna do this authentically, so without really studying on it and going from what I know, this is your interior. So you're looking at your menu buttons right here on the left-hand side to go through the menus right up front here, all right, on your Speedo. So menus, your screen setup, speed warning, diagnostics, speedometer, which I normally keep it on, vehicle info, which shows your tire pressure, stuff like that. You can also change through these systems. If you press this button here, that's kind of like your enter button. So if I press that, it's not just tire pressure. All right, coolant temp, trans temp, oil pressure, stuff like that. Very simple stuff, very easy to use, very straightforward. You do have your phone controls here. All right, you have your cruise controls here. And if I had a few more options, these would be functional buttons, but right now they are blank buttons because I do not have those options to fill it. All right, Speedo right up front, like I said, pretty simple. I would keep it up here to my actual speed. You can press and hold for kilometers. You do have your temperature, you do have your fuel there, you have your driving mode, you do have your compass up there up top as well, RPMs on the left, and speed on the right. I mean, there's not much more to say. Leather steering wheel feels good. All right, you do have the perforated leather on the sides, which is very nice, and paddle shifters. But sorry, Italians, the Americans do the paddle shifters a lot smaller than the big Italian paddle shifters. If I do get something that's not Italian, that is something that I'll miss. I love my big patties. I do not have the big patties with these cars. That's just how it is. Italians do those big paddle shifters. But these, if you didn't notice, are steering wheel mounted. So they're always wherever your hand is, to where the column mounted steering paddles are just as is. They're right here, they're fixed. You turn the wheel, they're gonna stay right here, and you'll be able to touch them from whichever way you turn. This way, in order to prevent you from reaching somewhere else, they keep them right here on the steering wheel for you. So, not too bad, right? Right up front, we're gonna turn on that system by pressing the dial here, and now you have your 8.4-inch touchscreen Uconnect system, your ventilated seat, heated seat, stuff like that. As you guys can see, I'm always on the hip-hop R&B channels, so we'll turn that down. I mean, the system is simple. You'll see this in most FCA vehicles, and it'll look very familiar with Maserati Touch Control Plus system. As far as your apps, for Maserati Touch Control Plus, it's a trident right here instead of saying apps. Same thing. Heated steering wheel, audio settings, your controls, your mirror dimmer, radio, all that kind of stuff. Projection manager, you can activate services there, your assistant right there. So it has a lot of cool things that you would, normally use in your everyday commute. Now let's talk about the SRT mode. It's pretty much like your sport configuration mode. So you press SRT mode here, you're gonna get your different packages, all right, for your performance. You have track package here, which transmission is track, paddle shifters are on, traction is track, all right, and the steering is street, all right. Then you'll go to sport mode, which it changes everything to sport pretty much. Transmission sport, paddles on, and traction sport, steering sport, all right. Then you go to custom, to where you can adjust these things and do the custom setup here as well. You also have a valet option and race options, but custom setup, you can just change how you have it here. So you want your traction to be sport, but you want your steering to be track, you can do that. All right, I mean, this is really cool setup. I like how you have a performance package set up and just able to really customize the car to what you're really trying to do with it and perform with. And it's just a cool thing to have. It really makes you feel like you have a race car that you can take out on the track and just do some damage in. I really love this. This is cool. You can actually drag and drop your apps. Let's see what I would take away. Probably, oh no, we'll keep phone. Let's switch out controls. So let's hold this thing and let's drag it down right here to where controls used to be. Now I have that SRT mode available, readily available for me. You do have your HVAC controls here. You do right here have your mute for your radio, screen off. your hazards. You do have your launch mode there, which looks fun. Your driving modes here, which you have an independent button for that, so you don't have to just do it from the screen, but I do like it right there on the screen in case I want to hit the touch screen. So you do have your drive modes there as well. Parking sensors off, traction off, your tuner for your radio, your volume for your radio, and then you do have your HVAC controls here for the fan speed here. Turn it up, turn it down, and then you can change your heat or cooling here. All right, AC, front and rear, everything there. Pretty nice. You do also have, let me see if I can feel it there, but let's see if I can get it on camera. So there are buttons right here. Can you guys see it? Let's get that focus. There are buttons right here for your radio options too on both sides of the steering wheel to where you can change the tracks. Just like with Maserati, you can change the track and change the volume of the radio options there. So that's always nice that you don't have to take your hands off the wheel to do so. Down below, you have a little bit of storage here, all right? So you got storage and you have your 12 volt there, all right? Down here, you have a little bit more storage as well. Maybe a good place to put your keys if you don't have them in your pocket. You do have your shifter here. Pretty simple, 2-track system. Park, reverse, neutral, drive, and over for manual. You can either use the gear select here to shift or your paddle shifters. But 2-track system, there's not much to it there. Then you have your cup holders here. All right, so you can store your American-sized big gulp drinks, and you can close it up if you want to keep that closed and keep it covered. You don't like that cup holder look. In the glove box here, you have some storage space right up top. Put change, anything that you would need to access pretty early, and then deep below, stuff that you would keep here you wouldn't use as often. All right, if I lift this up, you do also have 2 USBs and your aux cable there. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. 2 USBs and aux cable, and you have a 12 volt DC down there as well. Pretty deep. Nice that they have this tray here, and you can just slide the tray up if you want, so you can have access to the 12 volt. Sorry, not access to the 12 volt, access to the USB and aux cable with still having the tray there, and it's not blocking it all the way. I do like the brushed look. Looks very rugged, very muscle car feeling. Something that is not gonna get handprints, fingerprints, or nothing like that, and it won't scratch easily. And if it scratches, it'll look like it's just part of the design. But you have that throughout the vehicle, all on the bezel, around the screen there, and all through around the Speedo as well. Looks really cool. I wish it was integrated in the door as well a little bit too, but I'm not gonna complain because it has the nice stitching going across the door here. A couple soft touch material pieces here, but you guys know what these window switches come from, and you guys know the lighting switches and everything, what they come from, and obviously that's a part shared through FCA, which is why you'll see them in the Maserati models, the Ghibli, the Quattroporte, the Levante, etc. So that I'm very familiar with. Now in the back, I have a little bit of space, but you can tell how big this seat really is and how much real estate it holds up. I'm 5'11", and I was sitting pretty comfortably up front. I could have probably moved it up a little bit, but you can see that there's not a ton of room back here. Like I said, you can tell how big these seats are, just how thick they are and how wide they are, just by looking at this view. But you get a lot of the same treatment in the back. You do have the gloss black around here, around the armrest piece, with the same kind of stitching that you had up front, and the aluminum door handles, so that is nice. No speakers in the door, which this does have a nice Alpine system, but I do not see any door speakers, which is very strange. So I'm wondering where the sound is necessarily coming from in the rear. But you do have the same Alcantara Daytona seats, no Daytona Stitch logo here, but it does, I mean, it's a pretty nice place to be. Just wish you had a little bit more space. You pull this down here right in the center, you do have your cup holders there, and you also have a little storage space here. No USBs here because they are right front of your legs here. Okay, so you do have your 2 vents for climate control. You do have your ventilated seats here, or those are actually heated seats. My bad, sorry. We already mentioned this is quite a big car. You're looking at an overall height of 58.2 inches and a track width on the rear of 63.8 inches. All right, you're looking at a width of 75 inches. Now, when you're talking about your trunk, you're looking at trunk volume of 16.1 cubic feet. Now, to open that trunk, you can either use the key fob here with a double tap to open the trunk, or there's an actual button right here hidden in this spot here, which is very nonchalant. I like that. Can you guys even see it? then you press that and open it right up. All right, so you have plenty of space, and you get the 60/40 rear folding seats. All right, now with that, if you're wondering what this is actually your splitter guards for when the car first comes in. So you will see people driving with these on. I'm not exactly sure if that's like a style now, but this is actually your front chin splitter guards. They go over the front chin splitter. So actually this one would go on this side. So you put it on like that, and there you go. All right, so that's something that people actually drive with, which I'm not sure that what the appeal is. I mean, if you want to protect it, put the clear wrap on it, but that's what these are. But you have plenty of room in the trunk. I mean, like I said, with a car this big, why not? This thing is a beast back here. Tons of room. All right, you lift this up, and then you have your battery in the back here. You have your tire inflate kit here as well. I mean, you're set up. So you have a little bit of storage space underneath here as well in this compartment. Maybe you want to put some tools or a jack or anything like that. You can do that as well. Fuse box right over there in the corner as well. So if you ever need to get any fuses, there you are. But I mean, this gets an A+ on the trunk size. There's no reason you need a bigger trunk in a sedan. It's probably about time we hear what that exhaust sounds like, right? Let's take this thing for a spin. All right, so the mode we're gonna have it on today is sport mode. Sport mode puts the transmission in sport, gives you the paddle shifters on, the traction in sport, and steering in sport. Don't want to go to track. Couple of reasons why, very logical reasons why. You know, that's a little bit more hardcore right now. So we're just gonna keep it down to sport, you know, just to make sure that you still get the gist of what this could do, but without going all out. So 30 miles on this clock, we want to kind of take it easy a little bit, but still have a little bit of fun. But you can tell this thing, these seats, you're not going anywhere. You're not sliding around in these things. You're planted right in them. Nice bolstering on each side. It's incredible. Oh, I love this. All right, so traction's off. So we're gonna be very careful, respect the vehicle with both hands on the steering wheel while we're doing a couple of good accelerations for you guys. But like I said, it feels like a boat. You can tell you're taking up a lot of room, a lot of real estate on the road. So it's a larger car, but with large comes room. So with room comes comfortability. You have tons of room to just spread out, hang out, you know, have your legs stretched wide open, and just your shoulders are tucked in, and you're cruising, man. The armrest is in a good place here. Or you could just set your arm here, put your hand on your knee, and just relax. So you can either do that and you can relax, or you can put it in the manual mode and you can do stuff with the paddle shifters like this. Power, that's what that is. Wow. Do you hear that? The growls this thing makes is something else. I mean, it sounds like you're just waking up an angry beast from its slumber, and it's just mad at you and it's chasing you. The pops, the crackles, the growls, the gurbles, the grunts. Downshifts, they seem kind of tame, but then when you do this, I mean, that's muscle car. That's what a muscle car does. You give this big, aggressive, mean-looking car, and you put that kind of raw performance in it with the noise to match it, and you really feel that muscle car feel. It's got a great stance, it's got a great acceleration, I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, and it feels at the same time controllable. It's not like how, if you guys know the American cars, the American supercar, the Dodge Viper was. The Dodge Viper was a car that you have to be brave to drive. And you want to put it in perspective, it's kind of like the Porsche Carrera GT. It's not the easiest car to drive. That had a V10 motor in it. And it was one of those cars that you really needed to pay attention and you need to be a good driver. This, even the traction's off and I'm not the best driver in the world, I can still do that comfortably. I mean, I feel like the thing is planted to the road, and that might be the Pirelli P0 Ditto tires, but it's, this Hemi is just incredible. And I'm not stepping on it, you know, like I said, I'm not even really hitting it, you know, because I'm not trying to go crazy with it, but at the same time, I mean, give you that feel. It's quiet in the inside when you're not stepping on it. It's very smooth. All right, it's something that you can tour in, but then when you want to get noisy and you want to get rowdy, then you can put your hands on the steering wheel, you can slow down, you can downshift, and you can punch it a little bit. And you'll probably eat up your gas mileage real quick as I'm slowly learning, but it's worth it. I mean, it's worth it. This is fun. I would probably burn tires a lot quicker in this than I did in my Maserati. Easily. Rear tires would be gone, which is why I'm gonna chill here from now, because I want to save the tires for whoever decides to buy the vehicle. But that said, this thing is just cool. You know, it's spacious, it's practical, it's loud, it's angry, it's fierce. You know, but at the same time, it's one of those cars to where if this is the kind of American muscle you're looking for 4 doors, this is something that you're gonna want. I think people are gonna really like something like this. Let's check out the price of this 2019 Dodge Charger 392. Base price starts at $39,995. Then after options, we end life at $44,885 US. All right, so let's check out what we get. Now, I did go over the optional equipment, but you'll be able to see it just in case you didn't understand me. I slurred a word or said it wrong. You'll be able to read it right away, right off of the top of this, and definitely pause it if you need to see anything a little bit more extended time. You do have the destination charge at $1,395. All right, then you come with your standard equipment. You see what the Scat Pack is there, and then we'll go down the standard equipment for this Scat Pack. Something that is definitely good to be noted is all the stuff that it comes with. All right, so that's always a plus to see everything standard, like the Google Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is always something that I mention because it's pretty big in the world today. Everybody likes that stuff. And then we will see the combined city and highway for the fuel economy, miles per gallon, and your annual fuel cost. All right, and then what you will spend more than fuel cost over 5 years. All right, so that's it. Now the fuel economy being at 3, I mean, it's a V8. You don't really get a V8 to save on fuel, but it is what it is. You got to see it, right, just to know. Your warranty coverage is important. 5 years or 60,000 mile powertrain limited warranty. Not bad. 3 years or 36,000 mile basic limited warranty. All right, guys, so let me know, what do you think about this 392 Hemi powered 2019 Daytona Charger? All right, this is something I can get behind. I know it's a little different than the Fiat, but this is something that is, like I said, near and dear to my heart because I had owned a Charger and it was the first new car I ever bought. So that's one big tidbit. And I love the car, and I've done some things to it and really thought I was gonna keep it for a lot longer than I did, rather than having it for a year. And they've only made this thing even better, all right? I mean, I'll have a car that's more powerful than both of the vehicles that I had, both Ghiblis that I had, all right? And I have a same kind of color scheme if I got something like that, as far as the black wheels and the white paint, all right? And it's big enough, you know, I mean, it's one of those things to where I can fit a ton in and do family trips. I mean, it's not bad. I'll be very familiar with the button layout because we both know that the Maserati has the same kind of FCA button layout, same with the screen and infotainment system. Like I said, very familiar car, something that it may be a real move for me. So what do you guys think? Do you vote thumbs up or thumbs down? Now, definitely let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about this American Muscle? And do you think it's right for me? In the price range, do you think it's the car to get? I definitely want to know. You definitely have to like this video to get it up in the rankings. Anybody else that wants to answer this question for me that may be new to the channel, I'd love to hear from you. So if you like the video, it definitely helps support the channel. You gotta look down below, all right? Check out the Patreon if you want to support the channel in other ways. Really appreciate that. And you can check out the social media. Just follow me on there, see what I'm up to, all right? And you also have to subscribe and definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell. Let me know what other cars you guys want to see on the channel and what I should test drive and really see what's next for me. I want to know, guys. So definitely check me out. I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys had a good time. You learned something about this vehicle if you didn't know anything about it. And hopefully you just enjoyed the content. I want to make informative videos like this more often. So you're gonna see some changes on the channel, hopefully to get some more vehicles out to my car enthusiast friends here. So thank you so much, guys. We'll talk to you in the next video. You guys be blessed, be safe, and we will see you with the next one. Peace.